Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and in this box is the SH Figuarts Pain. This is a character I've wanted to have a figure for years, so now we finally got it. So we're gonna unbox this guy, we're gonna compare it to a couple other Narutos, maybe do a little photo shoot, but I'm so excited to finally get my hands on this guy. I've been dying for one of these. If you want to grab this guy, I'll provide links down below if I can find one, because this guy was kind of a pain to get. He wasn't on P Bandai. Big Bad Toy Store had him. I got mine from Nin Game personally. But again, I'm just so happy to finally have this. And if you like Naruto videos, we do plan on unboxing the Ichiraku Ramen here. And then when other characters like Shikamaru, Tsunade, Hinata, when they come out, I plan on unboxing those as well. So if you like Naruto figures, make sure you sub, because I'm going for the full collection. But judging from this box, it's very not exciting. We're going to open this one, and then we'll take a look at actually what's inside. I remember I made a YouTube short talking about how Pain could possibly come, judging by how good the Obito figure was. And I was like, oh yeah, we can get Itachi, we could get Pain, and everybody's like, oh my god, this guy predicted the future! Nah, they're just estimated guesses, my guy. I'm no psychic. But, here it comes. There he is. I don't know why I saved these boxes. I mean, there's gotta be some reason to keep it. But here is Pain himself. So we got this nice little pose right here. We got Pain himself, a couple different hands and faces and all that jazz. This nice purple looks really good. Then we got him shouting because someone farted in his Cheerios. And then we got the SH Figuarts and all this bland stuff right here. We got this little pose right here, which I'm probably gonna do this pose but with the cloak on. And then on this side, we got him with one of his rods, and then on the back, we got a lot more poses, and then we got him fighting Sage Mode Naruto, which when it comes to our photo shoot, that's what we're gonna do. Now, this guy comes with a soft goods Akatsuki cloak, which we've seen before on Itachi as well, and I'll get into how I feel about soft goods later. So let's open them up and play with Pain. Let me know in the comments, who else do you want to see in the line? I'm really excited to see the second iteration of Jiraiya to come out, because that was teased. So I'm excited to see what a better Jiraiya is going to look like, because the repaint we got, that was like a Comic-Con exclusive, I hate. But what I do love is the fact that they still stuck with having like the instructions on the side panels, so when you pull this out, it is just flat colors back here. I wish they did that more with their other SH Figuarts figures, because I unboxed the, the Deku from My Hero Academia, and I didn't do this. So I hope this becomes common practice here very soon. But here he is, and I like how he comes with one singular rod. Here is Pain himself. Let's rip this stuff off. And here he is, I guess. I say that like with that kind of tone because I'm not really a huge fan of this outfit personally, but if you want to get a closer look, here you go. I personally do love the way he looks. I like how different they made his hair look compared to Naruto, because I remember in anime it does come across as pretty similar to Naruto, and in the games, like the Storm games, they do make it look a little bit better, but here on a full action figure, it definitely does look different compared to Naruto's hair. The detail on the Rinnegan also looks really great. The piercings look pretty good. We got the ring on his thumb, that also looks fantastic. But I'm personally really impressed by the ear piercings, like how the painting looks on that. They didn't really do a sloppy job on it. They did a really fantastic job. But with this figure costing, what, $80 more or less? I do want perfection out of it, and I mean, they got it. They did a good job of it. I just noticed how he has, what, purple, like, nail polish on his hands, but then, like, red on his feet. I never noticed that. To be fair, I never really look at toes on Naruto when I'm watching the show. But when I analyze the action figure, I want to make sure it looks good. And yeah, they did it. They did a good job. And then under here, taped away in a different sleeve. Oh, I'm dropping things. Oh, goodness gracious. When you go to take your cloak off, Make sure you put the top back on so what happened to me doesn't happen to you. Oh goodness, I gotta clean that up. Well, so far, I can't find one of his hands. And looking at all this, I really need to vacuum down here. I vacuum every once in a while, I just keep missing under my desk. Or at my desk. Now that I know what I'm doing after I'm done filming this video. Okay, I finally found the hand. It was under one of my controllers. On, like, under my little desk. Like, on a higher platform. I don't know how it got there, but okay. We're good now. But, let's take this cloak out right here. And here's how I feel about soft goods. I think they're okay. I'm personally not a huge fan of them. Like, I feel like when it comes to articulation, it does do a good job at, you know, not hindering anything. But we've seen in the past that having an articulated cloak is not a terrible idea. SH Figuarts has gotten to the point where they actually made them pretty decent, and I'll show that off a little bit later as well. And although this figure does look great like this, we're gonna hide his little outfit because that's not what we care about. What we care about is him being in his Akatsuki cloak. But let me know in the comments, if you get this figure, are you ever going to take the cloak off? Are you actually going to use his normal outfit? The cloak attaches kind of like a bra, and then there it is. I know, like I mentioned this in another video, how soft goods is hard to pull off on this scale. Apparently not impossible, because apparently there is one figure brand that does do it right. I'm not sure if it's Mayfex or somebody else, but I'd prefer if this was a plastic cloak, because then it could look better. Because don't get me wrong, they do make it look good in the prototype pictures and stuff. Don't, like that's fine. But when you actually have it in person, like, you really gotta finagle it to actually make it look good. And I feel if they would have made it as a solid cloak, it would have looked a lot better. This might be a bit of a hot take, but like, I'm kind of disappointed that it's kind of soft goods instead of a solid plastic. Like, the benefits of soft goods, like being able to have the wire down there to actually make it dynamic whenever you need to, like, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but personally, like, I'd rather have a better looking action figure. Because if he's in a standard pose, it looks like it's just, he got a hand-me-down, and he's like trying to just grow into his little jacket that he just got, you know? I'm going to swap out the hands real quick. I'm going to put on the rod real quick. And then this is the rod. It does have the little cut right there, so that's pretty cool looking. And then we just slide that into place. Okay, it's very tight grip, so be careful. Then we take off his ring finger, and then we'll put on this hand. There we go. Now it just looks like a terrible magician. So let's make him look a little bit more menacing. My biggest thing I don't like about soft goods is that you don't know exactly how the figure itself is articulated, like under the cloak. So you really gotta maneuver it and like really mess with it to try to figure out how the articulation is set up. I feel like the soft goods was like just made as a one size fits all, which I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but like I feel like they just made it a little bit too big. Or maybe I have a bad opinion. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. This is probably how I'm gonna have him posed on the shelf. Probably something like this. But let's move things out of the way and let's start comparing him to some other figures I have in the collection. First up, here he is next to a standard Naruto, which honestly, this is not how you're gonna have him posed. Like, you're gonna have him in his Sage form. And I didn't know that Pain was that much taller compared to Naruto. Let me know in the comments, do you think that Naruto and Pain had the same hairstyle? Because in the anime, it does look like that. But if you are gonna have him next to a Naruto figure, it is gonna be the Sage mode right here. It's a shame how both of these figures were a bit of a pain to get, because like, at least with Naruto, he was P Bandai exclusive. But with Pain, I have no idea how to get him outside of Nin Game or Big Bad Toy Store. This one seemed a lot more difficult to get your hands on. But when you have these two together, it's gonna make for a great display. Especially if you have any of the stands that make them actually fight, like it's gonna look so good. However, let's get into some figures that have plastic cloaks, so I could show off like what I mean by having it be a plastic cloak could help the aesthetic a little bit better. So my few examples, my biggest one actually being the Obito here, because he has a full-on cloak going all the way down around his legs and stuff. You can still articulate him and like make him be dynamic as much as you need to, and then you have that full sleeve. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But then you have that full sleeve, so you're able to have that full articulation still with that butterfly joint and still be able to pull off all the moves that you need to do. You don't get as much range in comparison to a standard like joint, like a standard arm without a cloak on, but it's still a very good looking figure. Unless you find this ugly. If you find this ugly, then that's also your prerogative. That's completely okay. The only other one I have for an example is the Naruto, but like with his more goes out, while with if it was like a Akatsuki, it'd be like wrapping around his legs a little bit more. But I love the aesthetics of this figure so much. I love how soft this is so it doesn't hinder the articulation whatsoever. But I feel like Obito was the best example of making a cloak look good as an action figure. Like personally, I prefer this look over this look. And I guess we'll just put him back here for now. Am I disappointed that I got this guy? I mean, not entirely. I just wish the cloak wasn't soft goods. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there is a way to make this look good, and I'm just not very good at it. But personally, I feel like trying to make the cloak look good adds a lot more time and frustration than just having a plastic cloak. And I feel that soft goods clashes with the look of the rest of the Naruto line because of the fact that everyone else is plastic and these are just whatever fabric they are. So now that I'm done ranting about this guy, let's do a photo shoot with him real quick and have a good time. Alright, now that I'm done playing with the figure, I kind of want to give you my final thoughts on the guy. Overall, I do love him. I think he's really cool. I'm happy to finally have a Pain figure. However, I think he's a little bit too expensive compared to what you get, because with him being about $90 to $95, depending on where you go, whether it be like Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store, I noticed for the same price that I paid for the Sage Mode Naruto on Bandai, I got far more accessories for about the same price. I got so many faces, a couple of Rasengan pieces, the Rasen Shuriken, like there was a lot to go with it, including that soft goods cloak. And we even got a re-engineered Naruto, so it wasn't completely a reprint of that mold. So for me, it's hard to justify the price for it, but it's Pain. Pain is really cool. I really like him. And even then, I'm kind of mixed on my opinion for the soft goods, because as much as I wish it was plastic, it probably would have looked a little bit worse with all like the cuts you have to make to do the articulation. So maybe my opinion on soft goods is probably going to age like milk. Although I don't like the fact that it clashes on my shelf with all the other plastic figures, it does look pretty cool. So I guess I'd recommend him. I'm not sure if I recommend waiting to see if he goes on sale, because he's a very niche character, I believe, compared to just standard Naruto or Sasuke. So he's probably not going to get a price drop. So I'd say if you want to get him while you can. And if you want to get one, there will be links down below. But that's going to sum it up for this video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's going to be my social media. And I do more toy photography on Instagram. So if you want to check that out, that'd be really cool. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.